I've been to like, yeah, over 50 countries. I pay 160 here plus utilities. I just think like that Cambodian people are like very honest. I feel a lot safer here. I have a better connection with people that are from Cambodia. Cambodia has really hit me like in my heart.
This is Luis, a digital nomad who wants to settle down in Cambodia after living in 54 countries. And I sat down with him to discover why. What is it about Cambodia that made him say, this is the country for me? I asked him about Cambodia's cost of living, safety, culture, and more. If you're looking for an expat's fresh, authentic view of the Cambodian lifestyle, then keep watching. So tell me, what do you do for a living?
I'm a digital nomad. I trade stocks online, and I also teach technical analysis. And now I am the manager of this location here right now, which is kind of a hybrid of like residency and hotel here in Cambodia.
So as a digital nomad, how many countries have you lived in?
Like actually like lived in, depending like how long months, like how long months you're talking about and stuff. But I've been to like, yeah, over 50 countries. I'd say I probably have lived in at least 20, and like an actual like resident. And so until my visa runs out, but Cambodia has really hit me like in my heart.
How long do you normally stay in one country before you get up and move somewhere else?
I stay usually in a country for at least 3 months. As long as, because usually like you get like a 90-day visa, and so I try to stay there as long as I can. And I was really grateful that I found that Cambodia had like this like 1 year visa program where like I don't have to be moving around, because I'll just after 24 countries in since April 2022, 24 countries is just too much. It's just too much for anybody. Like you gotta have like some type of like routine and like meet friends and blah blah. And it's like hard like when you actually meet some friends and then you have to like, oh my god, like okay, well my visa's up, so I gotta be out of here right away. You know what I mean? So. And
then what made you decide to come to Cambodia initially?
This is a great question because it was actually one of the reasons was because of you. Your videos, like you seem like authentic, and like I said, like I wanted a place to like settle down for a while. Like being a digital nomad is amazing, but at the same time, like there comes a time and place where you want to settle down for a little bit. And like the fact that we can get a 1 year visa here very easily and not have to be doing border runs and blah blah blah, like I was like, man, like this sounds like a great place. It's like, and by no means is it perfect, but it's overall it's up and coming, I would say.
What surprised you about Cambodia after you got here? And either positive or negative, what were you not expecting?
I was not expecting that I would really like it as much as I do. I'm a spiritual person, and like I really think that like having Angkor Wat like 20 minutes away, like, and just how friendly they are, and like let's just say like you're walking on the street and like you want to buy a coconut, whatever, and you can like they give you back, like at least in my experience, like they give you back like the exact same change. Like they're not trying to rip you off. It's safe here, like, and there's not too many places in the world that like you're fine. Like there's nothing, you're not gonna get jacked through your phone, you're not gonna get your wallet stolen and stuff like that. Like I could not live in a place like that.
And now that you're here, how long do you plan on staying in Cambodia?
I think that's a great question, and honestly, like I am of men of faith, and I just let like the higher power like put me in through whichever avenue he believes. If things are going to work out here, then I'll be here for at least 2 or 3 years, but minimum I would say like at least 1 year.
So you're from Canada. I have a lot of viewers that are also from Canada. And the popular YouTuber Nomad Capitalist recently described Canada as a 3-star hotel charging 5-star prices, in relation to the taxation and the cost of living. So do you agree with that assessment? And how does all of the prices in Canada compare to, what you're paying for those same things in Cambodia?
I'm a patriot. Like I love Canada. Like Canada gave me so many different opportunities to be where I am right now. But like the way the country is going, and like in just how the inflation and the weather, like you can't, whatever you do, you can't change the weather, you know what I mean? Like Canada, when I first got there as an immigrant myself with my family, like in 1990, it was amazing because like you can have a family and it'd be very low cost of living. But imagine like you being stuck in like the whole rat race, and you have babysitting, fees and this and that. Like, no, Canada, honestly, like I'm just being honest, but like, no, I have no, besides if my parents get sick, like I have no ambitions to ever go back to Canada. It's not worth it, man. Like, like to live in a place like Toronto or Vancouver, like it's absolutely ridiculous what you have to pay per rent. Just for an example, like I used to work in Vancouver and I rented a place for like $1,300, and it was like great, blah blah. That place right now is probably going for like $2,500, and it's like tiny. And like the groceries there are just absolutely ridiculous. It's when my friends send me photos, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like like this is what it costs to live there now? Like, and like I've only been gone for like 2.5 years, but like, like me and some friends went to the Red Anchor last night, and like we each had a meal with a drink for like $2.50. In Canada, that would be like $18-19.
How much is your rent for this room right here? And then how much would you say is like your total budget for the month? Rent, utilities, food, entertainment. How much is all that together?
I would say like probably about $800 US a month. I pay $160 here plus utilities. So energy here is very expensive. So like that's why we want to set up solar panels here to like reduce the cost. As long as you're not running your AC 24/7, like you'll be fine. You know what I mean? So like in total, like for rent with power and water, I'd say probably like, yeah, like 220 for this place.
You're also a citizen of El Salvador. I know you've explored the Latin American area quite a bit, and I know that's a region of the world that maybe, Americans or Canadians might want to move to, seeing as it's closer to home. But one concern that people always have there is the safety, right? Latin America, certain parts of it have a bit of a bad reputation in terms of crime. How does the crime in Cambodia compare to the crime rates that you experienced in Latin America?
Honestly, like it's night and day. It's night and day. Like I just think like that Cambodian people are like very honest, and like at least in my experience, like everyone has different experiences, right? But like like when they're not trying to rip you off and blah blah. Like in places like in Mexico and my home country El Salvador's gotten a lot better, but like just my experience of like traveling through all of the Americas, I feel a lot safer here, to be honest with you. Like I've had friends, we've gone out at night in Nicaragua, and like they're like like, hey, let's get out of here or whatever. Like there's people starting to yell at us and stuff like that. Like I just haven't had like those types of experiences here at all. It just feels like it's a lot safer here, and that's what I like, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're 18 years old or 75 years old. What matters is your safety. Last week I went to Angkor Wat with a friend, and the tuk-tuk was here, and she was like, let's go. I'm like, okay, like I'm trying to like lock the door and get my phone and my wallet, blah blah, and I accidentally left my front door open, like literally like wide open. and we went to Angkor Wat. We came back like 8 hours later, and like like the first thing I thought, I'm like, oh my god, like all of my laptop, like my university, my stock trading stuff, all that stuff is gone. Like it's gonna be stolen, and it was still there. Like no one did anything. Like you know what I mean? Like, and you don't have that everywhere in the world. You know what I mean? Like I feel that like in my travels, like one thing, like yeah, you're gonna meet great people, but at the same time, like a lot of them are like, I don't want to say jealous, but like they feel like resentful and entitled that they'll take from you. You know what I mean? Like, and not feel bad about it because you have more of an opportunity. You know, and I think that here it's different. You know, and like I am trying to like, you know, like convert to you know, like to Buddhism. It's a safe place, man. Like I've never not felt safe. Like I've never, like honestly, like there's places in this world where like you know you can't take out your phone because it could get robbed. You know, you can't, like I had my phone stolen in Turkey last year or 2 years ago. Like you have to, but here sometimes like I'll like, cause I'm doing like 3 or 4 things at once. Like I'll leave my you know, very expensive laptop out here, my cell phone charging, my wallet and stuff like that. And like I walk back, I'm like, everything's still here.
So I know you've also lived in, you know, what you'd call Eastern Europe / Western Asia, the Turkey, Georgia, Cyprus part of the world. How would you say that like the people and the culture compares to East Asia?
Honestly, like I feel that I have a better connection with people that are from Cambodia. Like I love everywhere I've been and stuff like that, but like you got to remember, like these are like ex like Soviet countries that, like, you know, like you have your family, you have your friends, you have your job, and you keep to yourself. Where I see this as like, you know, people come here more for a community, like in honestly, like the locals are a little bit more friendlier. You know what I mean? It might not be as aesthetically beautiful as like Montenegro or like, you know, Kash, Turkey, where I used to live. But overall, it depends what you want in this world, right? Like everybody's different. For me, I want to build a sense of community for everybody. You know, like I want people to come here and feel comfortable. And at the end of the day, like what matters is your happiness. You know what I mean? Like, where are you happy?
So in the post-COVID world, we've kind of been seeing more people talking about moving overseas in search of a different life. You know, Canada, I know, you know, they take in 500,000 immigrants each year, mostly from poorer countries. But now we kind of see the reverse happening, where people are moving from wealthy countries to developing countries. So do you feel that that is a trend that is here to stay, where we're going to see, kind of like you talk about, some people maybe immigrating to America or Canada, earning money for their family, and then once they have made their money, kind of just going back home?
You have to put it like yourself in their shoes, right? Like, let's say you're born in a place like, I don't know, Bangladesh or something like that, or somewhere in India, and like you have this sense of culture and blah blah, and then you move to a place like where I grew up, like Edmonton, Alberta, where like the winters like are like really harsh, and you go there and it's hard to find a job. There's racism, you know, it's not your culture. Like I definitely 130% agree that this type of like migration cycle is going to continue. Third world country people like moving to Canada, the US, and then you have like us like leaving to other places just because like we don't want to live that rat race anymore.
So would you describe yourself as a minimalist? And if so, what do you like about that kind of lifestyle?
Absolutely, I consider myself a minimalist. I probably own 5 shirts and 4 tank tops and some pants and stuff like that. Like I just donated stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Like I don't like those things. Like really don't matter to me. Like they really don't. Like the vision that I have of this world today at 42 is not what it was 10 years ago. I love being a minimalist. I keep always keep my clothes clean and stuff like that. Like, you know, I don't need like a lot of fancy clothes to like be happy.
Unlike the other stock bros, I don't see your Lamborghini.
You know what? You know what? I feel like I've done it. I've lived a certain level of life, which is completely different where I am right now. And I used to be very materialistic, and now I'm not. Like right now, my priority is like painting the walls for like, you know, the hotel, like to build a garden, to like train these people to learn English, and blah blah blah. Because you know what, like, listen, like I didn't have to be a paramedic or a firefighter for like 40 years to realize that like life is so precious, man. Like, and like so many people just like do their day to day and like living in that rat race type style, and like, and that's not who I am.
Check out Luis's Instagram if you want to see more moments from his exciting life. And if you want to find out more about Cambodia's cost of living, then you should go watch this video right here.